Brian D. Brown. Brian Douglas Doug Brown, born October 20, 1948, is a retired four-star United States Army general. He retired in 2007 after 4 decades of military service. In his final assignment, he served as the 7th Commander of U.S. Special Operations Command USACOM from September 2, 2003 until July 9, 2007. As USACOM's commander, he was responsible for all Unified Special Operations Forces SOF, both active duty and reserve. Brown joined the United States Army in 1967 as a private in the infantry, and after graduating from Special Forces Qualification Course, he became a Green Beret. He enrolled in Officer Candidate School and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in May 1970. After attending Army Aviation School, he deployed to Vietnam as a UH-1 helicopter pilot. After the Vietnam War, he was part of a task force that would go on to later found the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment in 1981. During his stint in the 160th SOR, Brown took part in numerous contingency operations in the 1980s and early 1990s. In 1983, Brown participated in the invasion of Grenada, where his unit became the first aviation unit to use night vision goggles in combat. In the late 1980s, he led the 160th as it was assigned to Operation Prime Chance in the Persian Gulf amidst the Iran-Iraq War. Shortly thereafter, he commanded a battalion within 160th SOR during Operation Desert Storm, after which he was promoted to colonel and commander of the regiment. After leaving 160th SOR, Brown served at the helm of Joint Special Operations Command from 1998-2000 and then U.S. Army Special Operations Command from 2000-2002. In 2002, Brown became the Deputy Commander of U.S. Special Operations Command and holding the post until 2003, when he was selected to replace Air Force General Charles R. Holland as Commander of U.S. Special Operations Command. Shortly after becoming the head of USACOM, in 2004, he was involved in the aftermath of the Pat Tillman friendly fire incident, which culminated when he testified before the Congressional Committee on Oversight and Government Reform in 2007. Also during his tenure in command of USACOM, he announced the creation of Marine Corps Forces Special Operations Command in 2006. Brown retired in 2007 after leading USACOM through 4 years of the Iraq War and war in Afghanistan. Early life and family. Brown, a native of Fort Meade, Maryland, was born in 1948 and grew up in a military family. His father, Arnett Brown, was a member of the 89th Infantry Division during World War II, who became a command sergeant major and served in the Vietnam War. His mother was Mary Lou Brown. Brown played baseball and basketball in high school and eventually made it onto a semi-pro baseball team in Fayetteville, North Carolina. In a 2009 interview with The Year in Special Operations, he commented on his short-lived semi-pro baseball career, saying, "I played 3 games with them and found that life couldn't be sustained on $3 per game." Losing interest in college, and with his father in Vietnam, he walked into a recruiting office and joined the Army as an infantryman. He is married to Penelope Penny Brown Weitzel, a native of Fayetteville. Together, they have 2 daughters and 5 grandchildren. They also have 2 small dogs. Military service. Early military career in Vietnam. He entered the Army in 1966 as a private in the infantry. While attending airborne school at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, he signed up for the Army Special Forces SF after meeting Army SF recruiters. After Brown completed the Special Forces qualification course, he was assigned to the 7th Special Forces Group. His interest in aviation started while at Mountain Ranger Camp. He became enthralled with helicopters after he was asked by a UH-1 helicopter pilot to assist him in conducting reconnaissance flight over northern Georgia. Immediately afterwards, he signed up for Officer Candidate School OCS and Flight School. He graduated from OCS in May 1970, obtaining a Field Artillery Officer commission as a second lieutenant. He was thereafter stationed at Camp Pelham, South Korea as part of the Headquarters and Headquarters Battery 2/17th Field Artillery Regiment. Brown went on to earn his aviator badge in 1971 after attending Army Aviation School at Fort Rucker, Alabama. After aviation school, he deployed to Vietnam as a UH-1 helicopter pilot in the 129th Assault Helicopter Company. He would go on to become the first member of the aviation branch to attain the rank of four-star general. In June 1978, Brown was assigned to the 158th Aviation Battalion at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, flying Sikorsky UH-60 Black Hawks. While a member of the 158th Aviation Battalion, Brown was a company commander. The 158th Aviation Battalion was originally part of the 101st Aviation Group. Operation Credible Sport. 160th SOAR. After Operation Honey Badger ended, the Army leadership decided the unit was needed for future contingency operations. Thusly, on October 16, 1981, Task Force 158 became the 160th Aviation Battalion, with Brown a founding member. The choice of the unit's name was accepted by the U.S. Army Institute of Heraldry as a logical progression of the 101st, 158th, and 159th Battalions. The 160th Aviation Battalion was later renamed the 160th Special Operations Aviation Group in 1986. It was not until 1990 when it would take on its current name, 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. In October 1983, Brown participated in the invasion of Grenada, during which his unit became the first aviation unit to use night vision goggles in combat. In the late 1980s, Brown led all U.S. aviation forces assigned to Operation Prime Chance, which provided escort security for American-flagged Kuwaiti tankers during the Iran-Iraq War. During Operation Prime Chance, Brown's unit became the first aviation unit to engage in combat using night vision devices when they engaged an Iranian-flagged ship, Iran Ajr, that was seen deploying mines in the Persian Gulf. In 1988, he participated in Operation Mount Hope Roman III, during which U.S. forces recovered a crashed Soviet-made Mi-24 Hind attack helicopter in Chad. Company E of the 160th deployed to N'Djamena, Chad via C-5 Galaxy. Once in Chad, the company flew two CH-47 Chinooks 490 nautical miles at night, without the use of navigational aids, to the crash site. Once at the crash site, the crews harnessed the crashed Hind to a Chinook via sling load. During the returning flight, both Chinooks refueled twice at FARPs supported by C-130s and later endured a sandstorm before returning with the Hind. During the Persian Gulf War in 1991, Brown commanded a battalion within 160th SOAR for both Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm. Their missions during the operations included inserting and extracting Special Forces teams, resupplying SOF units, performing reconnaissance, and attacking pre-designated targets. Brown became the third commanding officer of the regiment after Desert Storm. General Officer. Between 1994 and 1996, Brown served as Assistant Division Commander for Maneuver, 1st Infantry Division Mechanized, at Fort Riley, Kansas. He later served as Director of Plans, Policy and Strategic Assessments J5/J7 at U.S. Special Operations Command. As a Major General, he commanded the Joint Special Operations Command JSOC from 1998-2000. Brown went on to lead U.S. Army Special Operations Command USASOC from October 2000 to 2002. While at the helm of USASOC, Brown sought to modernize neglected aspects of Army Special Operations, mainly the Civil Affairs and Psychological Operations units. By the time Brown left, he had increased USASOC's budget by 200%. After leading all of the Army's Special Operations Forces for 2 years, Brown was selected to become the Deputy Commander of U.S. Special Operations Command. He held the position from 2002 until 2003 when he was nominated to take over U.S. Special Operations Command. Commander of USSOCOM. On September 2, 2003, Brown replaced Air Force General Charles R. Holland as the commander of U.S. Special Operations Command. During Brown's tenure as USSOCOM commander, he was involved in the aftermath of the Pat Tillman friendly fire incident that occurred in early 2004. He testified before the Congressional Committee on Oversight and Government Reform in 2007 about receiving a memo from Lieutenant General Stanley McChrystal, then commander of JSOC, informing Brown that it was highly possible that Corporal Tillman was killed by friendly fire. Ultimately, former commanding general of USSOC Lieutenant General Philip Kensinger and other Army officers were held responsible for the mishandling of information surrounding Tillman's death. On November 23, 2005, Brown, together with U.S. Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld and Marine Corps Commandant General Michael Hajj, announced the creation of the Marine Corps Forces Special Operations Command MARSOC. Prior to the creation of MARSOC, the Marine Corps had not been involved in special operations, which were conducted by Army, Navy, and Air Force units assigned to U.S. Special Operations Command. After the September 11 attacks, the Secretary of Defense had directed the Marine Corps and Brown's predecessor to work closer together in the global war on terror. This culminated in the creation of MCSOCOM Detachment 1 on June 19, 2003, shortly before Brown took command of USSOCOM. It was nearly 3 years later, on February 24, 2006, when MARSOC was activated at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. In 2006, Brown oversaw the SOF component of the Quadrennial Defense Review (QDR), which is a legislatively mandated study by the Department of Defense that analyzes strategic objectives and potential military threats. As a result of Brown's contributions to the 2006 QDR were considered a success and a major stride forward in preparing U.S. Special Forces for future contingencies by increasing the SOF budget and manpower. As a result of the 2006 QDR, the capabilities of USSOCOM were greatly expanded, including increasing active duty Special Forces battalions by 1/3, expansion of psychological operations and civil affairs units by 33%, increasing the number of Navy SEALs, among other major changes. After 4 years of leading USSOCOM through the Iraq War and war in Afghanistan, President George W. Bush nominated Rear Admiral Eric T. Olson to succeed Brown as the commander of U.S. Special Operations Command on May 11, 2007. Brown and Olson had served at the USSOCOM headquarters in Tampa together for 4 years, and Olson had been the deputy commander since 2003. The change of command ceremony took place on July 9, 2007, at the Tampa Convention Center. It was presided over by Secretary of Defense Robert Gates. During the ceremony, Gates said he came to this post 4 years ago determined to improve the way special operators fight. He has done just that. At the time of the change of command ceremony, Brown was the longest-serving commander in U.S. Special Operations Command history with 1,406 days in office. Over the course of his military career, Brown amassed a total of 4,400 hours of flight time in fixed and rotary-winged aircraft. Education. His military education included the Field Artillery Officer Advance Course, U.S. Army Command and General Staff College, and the United States Army War College. At the Army War College in 1992, a then-Lieutenant Colonel Brown co-wrote a military studies program with future United States Northern Command Commander Victor E. Renouart, Jr. in a paper titled Combat Search and Rescue, A Search for Tomorrow. In it, Brown was highly critical of the United States Air Force, saying, "The U.S. Air Force is the proponent agency for search and rescue, but chose not to deploy any forces to Desert Storm." Brown graduated from the Harvard Executive Education Program's National and International Security Managers course. He received a bachelor's degree in history from Cameron University, as well as a master's degree in business from Webster University. Post-military life. In November 2007, shortly after Brown retired from the Army, he joined the board of directors for Aurora Flight Sciences, which specializes in the scientific and military applications of robotic aircraft and aerospace vehicles. Brown is the president and founder of his own consultation firm, Tier 4 Consulting. He served from 2007 till 2018 on the board of the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, a 4-star rated charity supporting education for the children of fallen special operators, serving the last 5 years as the chairman. Awards and honors. General Brown was awarded the following military awards and decorations. Other accolades. Shortly after his retirement, Brown was named Patriot of the Year for 2007 by the Congressional Medal of Honor Society, and he also received the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. The following year, he was inducted into the Army Aviation Hall of Fame. The Association of Special Operations Professionals named Brown Man of the Year in 2011. In 2012, the 160th SOAR compound at Fort Campbell was renamed the General Brian Doug Brown Compound in his honor. In film, works by Brown. Brian D. Brown, Victor E. Renouart, Jr. 1992. Combat Search and Rescue, A Search for Tomorrow PDF. Carlisle Barracks, Pennsylvania, United States Army War College. Retrieved May 16, 2013. Brian D. Brown 2001. The 160th SOAR, The Quiet Aviation Professionals. Special Warfare, the Professional Bulletin of the John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School. John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School. 14324. Retrieved May 19, 2013. Brian D. Brown 2006. U.S. Special Operations Command, Meeting the Challenges of the 21st Century. 440. Joint Force Quarterly. Archived from the original on August 5, 2011. Retrieved June 3, 2013.